Hello, and thank you all for coming today. We're going to talk a little bit about team names in the NFL as part of my speech. A name says everything about the object it describes. That is no different from the NFL. Team names were designed specifically, I truly believe, to honor a historic creature, group of people, or a symbolic figure in American heritage. As you can tell, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and I believe in learning everything there is to know about my team's history. And as such, the Bears, when they were created, they started playing football in Wrigley Field with the Cubs for baseball. According to BearsHistory.com, George Halas, the team's founder at the time, surmising that the football players were generally bigger than their baseball counterparts, he aptly named them the Bears, simply because they were bigger than the Cubs. My central idea today is a professional team name is created not to insult or offend another group of people or culture, but to honor an origin or historic symbol. As a fan of sports, football in particular, I've been playing on and off for about 20 plus years, and I've been watching NFL for about 30 years altogether. My name is Jeremiah, and today, after hearing my speech, you will have a better idea of the controversy that surrounds a few of the names in the NFL that some may deem offensive in nature. My main points cover the Washington Redskins, the Green Bay Packers, and other non-offensive teams. So we've gotten into what I'm interested in posing for thought. Now let's discuss the most recent name at the top of my list. The Washington Redskins. Recently, the media has increasingly scrutinized the team as being offensive to Native American Indians based off of their name. Originally, they were known as the Boston Braves. Hogs.net states that in July of 1932, the NFL awarded the city of Boston an NFL team. The ownership group for the new franchise was headed by a man with little football background by the name of George Preston Marshall, who himself was a Native American. And not too many people know that. Now this is not the most modern version of that logo. The current logo has a profile of a Native American Indian on the side, but this one was created by, I forget his name, Vince Lombardi, when he coached the team. I apologize. Marshall became the sole owner when the team was starting to lose money about a year later, and he moved them to Fenway Park. And he renamed them at the time the Boston Redskins. As an innovative man, he went ahead and moved the team to Washington, D.C. in 1937, and that's when they became known as the Washington Redskins. Because he was an innovative type of person, he didn't stop there. He went ahead and created the NFL's first marching band, which still exists today, as well as the first fight song, known as Hail to the Redskins. Now, all of these innovations were never intended to be insulting or offensive or disparaging whatsoever. We've talked about valid points arguing against the Redskins name as an offensive moniker. Now let's talk about another team challenged to change its name as well. The Green Bay Packers. Founded in 1919 by Curly Lambeau and George Calhoun, the Packers were part of the Indian Packing Company. And according to thepackers.com, because the company provided jerseys and permitted the use of its athletic field for practice, the club was identified in its early publicity as a project of the company, hence the name Packers. Now, the Indian Packing Company itself didn't last but a year, and then after that it became the Acme Packing Company, but the Packers name stuck. However, in 2000, the name was considered offensive by the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA. They tried to write a letter arguing that the Packers need to change their name. An article from JournalTimes.com said the name promotes violence and bloodshed because it refers to meat packers, or those who work in slaughterhouses. Naturally, it was a short-lived argument, and it didn't last very long. So you just heard about two team names that have experienced public scrutiny. Here are a couple of names that haven't. One of the other names affiliated was the Seattle Seahawks. Their team logo, which is a stylized royal blue and forest green hawk's head based on Northwestern Native American art as described by MickleYance.com. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Unfortunately, I do not have a visual aid for that. But their team was, quote, not only derived from a fan contest, but also from Mayor Harold Roe Bartle, who was 35 years prior founded the Native American-based honor society known as the Tribe of the Mickasay within the Boy Scouts of America, which earned him the nickname the Chief, according to arrowheadpride.com. So today we've talked about some valid points supporting why team names weren't created to be offensive or insulting, but rather to others. So in conclusion, my main points were to the Redskins' origin, the history of the Green Bay Packers, and the Chiefs and Seahawks as honoring other Native Americans as well. Once again, my central idea is a professional team is not created to insult or offend, rather it is to honor an origin or historic symbol. And finally, if you may not find my speech to be something you agree with today, and that's understandable. Ultimately, you cannot please everybody. Thank you.